When I first started working as a freelance writer in 2010, I worked for a crisp $1 bill for 100 words. Don't worry, guys, I've come a long way since then, and you don't have to start out writing for a penny per word. And I will show you how to avoid that as we go through this video, but I want to help you get started and figure out how you can become a full-time freelance writer, because it really is an amazing opportunity to be able to have financial freedom, to be able to have location freedom, and to be able to do whatever you want. So we're going to go ahead and get into some important things, and the first one is, what kind of writer do you want to be? There are things like technical writers, medical writers, there's resume writers, there are copywriters, there are ad writers, there are jingle writers, there are blog writers. There are so many different types of writers that you can literally do anything that you want. Now, each one of these things comes with a different set of skills, and even if you're maybe good at one, that doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be good at another. So that might seem a little frustrating in the first place, but once you get into it, once you start learning how all this stuff works, you'll realize that it's not as complicated as you might have thought it was going to be. A lot of you maybe don't have any experience whatsoever with writing, aside for maybe writing at school or something like that. And that's totally fine. A lot of people allow themselves to get totally messed up and lost in the sauce. And they're like, well, I don't have any work. I don't have any work to show someone. Secret: you can write even if you don't have a client. So if I were starting out again, I would just write something like, say for instance, I would go get inspired by a blog post on a popular site that I wanted to get hired on. And then I would take that information and I would write a similar article. And whenever I applied to other blogs that were maybe that blog or another blog, I would show them this piece of work. Some people do ask you for your bylines, which is literally just a blog or any type of writing that is by you and it has you listed as the author. But I didn't have any bylines for a very long time. I was a ghostwriter where basically people would take what I said and pretend that they said it. And I'm still not entirely sure how I feel about that. But if you want to ghostwrite, then you most definitely can, and that's where a lot of people actually like that. However, there are a lot of blogs even that are going away from ghostwriting, and they're looking for people with expertise in certain areas so that they can hire them, so they can hire you for what you know about and your knowledge and expertise, because there's just no one else that can see something that you know about from your exact point of view. You have a unique story, you have a unique personality, everything about you is unique, despite the fact that some people think that everyone is kind of the same and you can create the same kind of content. And you can if you want to be a cookie cutter, but I would totally recommend finding companies that really appreciate your voice and really appreciate your knowledge and your background and working with those people. These kind of clients are the ones that usually pay you the most amount of money. Other clients, they really are looking for the best deal, and they are the most difficult people to work with. If you're looking for someone that is always looking for a deal, they are very hard to work with. But whenever you find people that are interested in quality, interested in working with you as a writer, you're going to find yourself not only getting paid more, but you and your client are going to be much happier. Let me tell you a short story. So not too many years back, because honestly it was just maybe three and a half years ago when I really started noticing my worth and understanding that writers make the world go round. I was getting paid a terribly, absurdly low amount of money, and it was very weird because I got hired on by this site, It was a huge and is a huge pool company, and they definitely had the budget to pay me more, but I didn't ask for more, and I honestly don't know that they would have, because they were really looking for a budget. So I would write 80 articles for them a month, and it was on pools, swimming pools, and I don't even swim. Like, I cannot swim, and I possibly will never learn to swim. And it was just, I hated the topic. It was so boring. I just couldn't stand thinking about another type of in-ground swimming pool, and it just made me miserable. I really started hating writing, and maybe it was bringing in some money, but it was really miserable. Whenever you're a creative person, being miserable and trying to put work out there is really bad. And another very bad thing about not charging enough money whenever you're a writer is that if you need to make more money, then you're going to write a whole lot more. And my wrist actually became so sore one time that I really couldn't move them because I had worked that much. Like, I wish I would have tracked the hours that I worked, but it was an insane amount. So I'm all about work ethic and all of that. But you also have to take care of yourself, or you could really get into some trouble. So think about ergonomics whenever you're starting to be a writer, because your hands and your wrists, they're key to your work. So make sure that you aren't operating in ways that are actually going to hurt you, your wrists, your hands, and your income. So those are some key things to think about. Now, you might be saying, okay, but how do I get clients? So for one, write out one or more samples like we had talked about earlier. If you haven't worked for someone else before and you don't have samples, go ahead and do that. You can also offer to work for a company that you know or someone that you know for free to get your portfolio going so that they can be your reference. That's a really great way. If you know of a nonprofit maybe or something that you can do like that, then you can actually help someone out with a good cause and you can get some work. Now, there are some actual places that you can go online. A lot of people have already heard of Upwork.com, but there's also freeup.com, and it's with 3 E's. And there's also Copyblogger, the Copyblogger board. So you can go on these different places and you can find work there. You can even go on Indeed.com, and sometimes you can find work in these places. You can literally go online anywhere and type in writer and remote if you don't want to go work in an office, because I don't. Maybe you do. A lot of people find it very enjoyable to be somewhere with a lot of coworkers or people that they can interact with, but I enjoy being at home with my kids and my husband. So these places, be honest with your level of experience, but also let them know why you want to work with them, and do some research about the company so that you're not totally clueless about the people that you're going to be working with. So these are some really simple tips that can help you get going and allow you to start building your full-time income. Freelancing can be very up and down, so you need to map things out so that you don't get into a bad spot if you do have a down month. So one of the things that I like to do, besides for having a cushion, it depends on, so your comfort level depends on how big of a cushion you need to have. Maybe you're okay with 1 month of expenses. Maybe you're okay with 3 months. Maybe you need 6 months because you're like, I don't want to get stuck in a really bad place. I need to be able to feel confident that my family's taken care of if I lose a client or if all my clients run away. Whatever makes you feel comfortable, so you don't have to be freaking out while you're supposed to be being creative and writing, right? So these things are really important. And the way that I actually do this is, say, for instance, I need $4,000 per month. That's what my goal is. But I don't want to work all month. I don't want to work every day. But I would say, I want to work 20 days a month. So if I know that I need to make 4,000 that month and I want to work 20 days, then I say, okay, then that means I need to make $200 a day during that time. So what you can do, and what I do, is I have an Excel sheet and it has all the dates that I'm working. And throughout that day, like, I don't write down, like, okay, I got paid this or that. I write down, let's say that I'm getting paid $200 for an article. That I know that I have to write that article within that day to hit my goal for that day. And then that way, it will even out. I make sure that I make $200 every month, 20 days out of the month, and then I have the $4,000. So that's a really easy way to keep track. And then you can see as you're going through the month, okay, have I hit the level that I need to be at that month, or at this point in the month? And then you can feel comfortable, or you can freak out at the end of the month and get a lot more work done if you have been slacking a little bit, or if maybe the clients have been a little bit low. Then you can get out there and hustle up some more work and see who needs your help, right? And don't be afraid to ask your current clients if they have anyone else that they know that would need some writing work done. Most clients are more than happy to help you out and to refer you to their friends, because most clients don't have enough full-time work for you, and they know that you have other clients because you're not an employee, you are a freelance writer. And soon, hopefully, if you continue to build your clients, you'll be a full-time freelance writer and working from anywhere in the world. A few things to think about if you're working anywhere in the world is make sure that you go somewhere that you're going to have internet. If you're going somewhere that you're not going to have internet, make sure that your clients know, or that you don't have any deadlines that are coming up during that time. There are plenty of ways that you can work around this, and your clients might not even know that you're traveling unless you tell them. Me and my family were traveling for 2.5 years, and most of my clients didn't know, nor did they care, as long as I turned in my work. And so it's very doable to become a full-time freelance writer. I mean, I've been doing this in 2010, but I haven't been getting paid as much as I should until like the past 3 years. And the biggest thing, honestly, that changed was my mindset and my belief in my value. So if you come into this thinking that there are not enough clients that are going to pay the money that you want, you're going to have a difficult time. So do yourself a favor. Know that there are plenty of people. There are so many people that, especially right now, are looking for quality people that will put in the work and put in the time to deliver them a great product, your writing, and they cannot wait to meet you and pay you what you deserve. So guys, don't miss out on one of my other great videos that Google says you want to watch. Thanks for coming along. Bye.